I'm here at the Hamworthy Club in Bournemouth. Why am I here? Well, it's the Bournemouth Model Railway Show, run by the East Dorset Engage Group. Lots of fantastic model railway layouts in there, including my own brief encounter, and of course, lots of traders. It's a bit rainy and soggy outside. I can't wait to get inside, so come with me. Let's go take a look. Join me as I explore the exciting world of model railways with behind-the-scenes features, step-by-step tutorials, interviews, videos, reviews and much, much more. I'm Dawn Quest and I love building model railways. The Bournemouth Model Railway Exhibition is run by the East Dorset Engage Group, and as you might expect, there's a wonderful range of Engage layouts on show. But there's also so much more to see, including some OO, O and a range of beautiful and quirky narrow gauge. And where better to start than with Engage, of course, and the group's pride and joy, Benbridge. Built from scratch by club members since 2015, Benbridge is based loosely on the Cotswolds from about 1950 through to modern times. Why the name? Well, one of the group's members, Ben, built the bridge. Next up is Ambleton Vale by Ray Taylor and Anna Bass. Set in rolling countryside somewhere in central England around 1905, Ambleton Vale Station is a terminus at the end of a fictitious branch line connecting the village of Ambleton Vale with the county town some 20 miles away. It has survived in the face of the general decline in rail travel because of a flourishing livestock market on the outskirts of the village and the nearby Ambleton Vale racecourse. At just 8 foot by 3 foot ins and outs by Stuart Farmer is a great example of what you can fit into a very small space. Stuart is the exhibition manager for the show, and on this layout he has created 2 interwoven figures of 8 with 2 stations. It's a gorgeous little layout showing GWR in miniature. Little Ashton TMD by the Engage Society was based on a layout called Ashton. The original layout was OO gauge, but this created the basis for the Engage modern era layout, which is purely fictional and allows the group to run its extensive collection of EWS and DB Schenker locos, as well as arrivals from other operators, including direct rail services. If you've got a few box folders lying around, then do what Kevin Staden did. Turn them into box folder layouts. Kevin has at least 15 of these amazing layouts on display at the Bournemouth Model Railway Exhibition. Each box is a completely separate scene, with some linked together only by a railway. You can see farms, villages, a quarry, an alpine scene, mills and factories, as well as a harbour, a beach scene and much more. This next layout is an absolute jewel. It's Penworth by Mark Butler. Penworth is a Pendenesque GWR branch line terminus, and it's been built to show that similar standards as those to be seen at Pendon Museum could be achieved in 2mm. Now, according to Mark Butler here, there is a tiny little robin somewhere on this layout, apparently on this shovel here. Thank you, Mark. Can you see it, anybody? Well, I can't even see the shovel. All of the buildings are scratch-built copies of buildings on Pendon's Vale scene, but scaled down to 2mm. One of my favourite details on this layout is the hay wagon here, complete with a load of hay. Perfection. Sarah's Falls is the club's Canadian layout gifted to the club following the sad death of its creator. It had to be split into 2 halves to remove it from the loft space, and so needed some work reconnecting the wiring and checking all was well again. Stock is mainly Canadian, but being close to the American border, American freight trains are also seen. Another personal favourite is Upperton by Jamie Granger. What I love most about this layout is its beautiful, intricate scenery which stretches from one end to the other. It's a fictitious station set in the mid to late 1960s and located southwest of Salisbury on the main line to Exeter and Devon. One thing that's clear at the Bournemouth Model Railway Exhibition is that the standard of layouts is exceptionally high, and that's all down to the very careful selection by Exhibition Manager Stuart Farmer and Chair Duncan Jones.
So I'm Duncan Jones and I'm the chairman for the Bournemouth Model Railway Exhibition and also the East Dorset Engage Group. Bournemouth Model Railway Exhibition has been going for just over 15 years now. It's a new start for the group. We've taken on a new exhibition committee. We've got 25 members now, so all of us chip in with helping with running and putting on the Bournemouth Model Railway Exhibition.
Now, around a year ago, you may remember I interviewed some wonderful women for my video about women railway modellers, and one of them was the then 17-year-old Zara Jones. Well, she's a member of the East Dorset Engage Group, and Duncan, who you've just seen there, is her dad. Dad,
yeah.
How incredibly proud of her are you?
Oh, immensely. Like, obviously, Dawn, you've worked really closely with Zara over the last couple of years, done some really good interviews with her. Oh, yeah, she's had an absolutely cracking weekend. Oh, she's tired, but we've got one more day to go. Yeah, she'll be absolutely fine.
So, Zara, what have you been getting up to since we last saw you?
We've actually started building our own layout at home, so we've been doing that. And we've been going to quite a few exhibitions as well. So.
And what have you learned through doing all those shows?
That it is definitely one that, even if you do get criticised, it's not the end of the world, and that you just need to kind of shrug it off, because it is a rewarding thing and I love doing it.
Have you been receiving a lot of criticism then?
I have found that quite a few people just assume that I'm either here because I'm forced to be here or I'm being paid to be here. So a lot of people have actually made that comment previously, and they've said it to you as well a lot of the time. So it makes me feel quite bad. It makes me not feel like that I'm allowed to be here and that I'm allowed to do this hobby as well. So,
well, you say you shrug it off, but most of us, I mean me included, we do find that hard from time to time. How do you stay positive about the hobby?
I speak to so many people, and so many people are proud of what I do. And like a lot of people that I do speak to that are really happy that I'm here, they are all so supportive.
So what's next?
What have we got coming up?
We've got a few exhibitions coming up, but I think the main objective now is getting our new exhibition layout that we're working on completed.
Now, I have a question just for you, Zara. Pretend Dad isn't here. Dad, cover your ears. On your own layout, how much does Dad interfere? Come on, you can tell me.
Just sometimes when he's just being annoying or is just like getting quite stressed, I'm just like, go away.
Dad, honestly.
But we do have laughs, which
Yeah.
makes it the main thing.
Yeah, it's good fun. Like it's been great. You know, it's brilliant to see Zara come in. She is known as the crazy slipper lady because she loves wearing different slippers at exhibitions. And when she goes around to all the guys, they love Zara. She just gives everybody a burst of energy. Oh, and it's nice to have her. It's great to share a hobby together.
Well, we're all really proud of you, Zara, and we're looking forward to seeing your progress. I'm also quite proud of Grumpy Cameraman, staying quiet and not interrupting once throughout that whole interview. Oh, wait a minute.
I've got a question to ask. All right, quickly take that for us. A little present for you. All right, just let you know there is a best in show, isn't there? Yeah, a little present in there for you. Just let you know there is a best in show.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can only apologise, East Dorset Engage Group. I can't take him anywhere. So just who won Best in Show? Well, all will be revealed a little later. So let's get back to the layouts, and this time 00 gauge. Dibbs Yard by Dwayne Wingett is a small fictitious goods yard set in a fictional location, allowing any kind of locomotive and rolling stock from ex-LNER to ex-GWR. The yard was originally constructed to provide exchange sidings for the thriving creamery. At the time the layout is set, the yard is in the autumn of its life. Fairwood Junction by Steve Jones is on the Great Western Main Line just outside of Westbury, where the avoiding line route rejoins the station line. It's a favourite spot for railway enthusiasts, with trains heading west towards Taunton, Exeter, Plymouth and Cornwall, in the shadow of Westbury's famous White Horse. As with all layouts, it's the details I love the most, and one thing I noticed about this layout is the back scene. Just look how they've created the illusion of the track going into the distance past the tunnel. One thing I've noticed over the past year or so is more young people, not just attending model railway shows, but building and manning the layouts, as with Redacre, built by Gavin Brown and helped by his team, Stephen, Max, Cameron, Aidan, Sam, Dan, Ben, and of course Gavin himself. Redacre is a fictitious mid-1960s BR Southern branch line, which also served as a diversion route between Basingstoke and Southampton. It has 2 platforms in an unconventional island platform setting, dead end siding on the upside, with a loop and yard that has a goods shed. Dave Vanston's Shobrooke Road is a fictitious preserved station in Devon on the what might have been branch line between Crediton and Thorverton, joining the Southern and Great Western Railways. So it's day 2 of the Bournemouth Model Railway Show. It's about 30 minutes before we open. But yesterday, well, what a triumph. It was absolutely packed. This hall here was full of visitors, and it was really great to talk to people about the model railway hobby and, of course, Brief Encounter. And Brief Encounter has been on the circuit now for, well, over a year. And it's been a real privilege to take the layout to many, many shows around the country and many more to come this year. And I think, speaking for many of the exhibitors here, we grow really fond of our own layouts. We're really proud of them, and I'm especially proud of Brief Encounter, and I'm looking forward to talking to more people today and sharing Brief Encounter with the visitors who come through the door. I've been told that Brief Encounter monochrome makes your eyes go a little funny. Not sure 3-year-old Tom here knows what to make of it. He's here with his mum Kate. It looks like model railways also appeal to dogs. If only Grumpy Cameraman would behave quite so well as Bailey, here with his owner Colin. Speaking of Grumpy Cameraman, back to the layouts and an O gauge that he absolutely raved about, as well as some unusual narrow gauge. Hard to believe that you can get such an exceptional O gauge layout on such a small footprint. This layout comes in under 15 foot. Love Lane Stabling Point by Andy Floyd is based in the Western region, home to a variety of attractions showing the ever-changing scene during the 70s and 80s. Kaninchenbau by Ian Morrison is another hugely popular narrow gauge layout that we last saw at Tolworth. The layout is set in the rolling alpine foothills and has been designed using the rabbit warren principle for fully automated running using iTrain and a laptop. The layout runs 5 trains simultaneously using multiple levels that can operate independently. The rabbit warren style ensures that trains will not always appear from the expected exit, and this provides great interest for younger viewers, and also more often the more mature viewers as well. Time for something a little different. Gn15. And we have 2 offerings here. The first is Naff Hall by Toby Jones, representing a small section of the Duffield Bank 15 gauge line in Derbyshire. The second Gn15 gauge layout is Borough Mump by Peter Hollins. Now, I'm here with Julie Semester, and 8 months ago, Julie and her husband Paul decided to take up a new hobby for their retirement. Guess what they decided to do? They decided to do some railway modelling. They joined the East Dorset Engage group. They're here now, and Julie, you're just loving the hobby, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, I'm not really into crafting. I've never done crafting, but as soon as you start doing the model side of it, you realise you're actually quite good. I work out in the community, and I have a customer that used to be the president of the Engage Society in Pelhams, and he introduced me to Engage Railways. And I brought him to a couple of shows, really liked what I saw, and my husband and I decided in retirement we needed something to do together. So we thought, well, why not railways? We had room, so we sold a walking machine to make the space, sat down together and worked out what we were going to do. It's all around a railway station. And then the first time we did the modelling, he's very good on the technical side, working out how to cut everything and assemble it. And then I actually have learned how to assemble everything and to paint it. Really, really enjoying it. There's not very many women, though, doing this type of thing, which is quite difficult because it's nice to have another woman to talk to. But I really like buying the models, buying all the characters, looking at the cars, and just really walking around the shows and meeting people. One of the benefits of belonging to the group is that you get to talk to other members and you can learn from them and see obviously the layouts and what they've done and talk to them about how they've actually positioned things and what's the best way to do grassing and hills, etc. So it's being able to learn from them, and they give you sort of tips and tricks and what components to use and materials to use, because we had no idea. And yeah, it's been really good to try stuff.
So what would you say to somebody who says, oh, I'll never be able to do that because I'm just not a crafty person?
Okay, so I'm absolutely not a crafting person, and I've never done anything. I've tried knitting, but that's about it. It's really, it's an easy thing to do because all the kits come laid out with instructions. You just follow the instructions, and when you build your first building and you do a little bit of painting and colour it in, it's just thrilling to see it and think, wow, we made that. And it's a good thing to be able to do is sit down with somebody. So I sit down with my husband and we can be there for a whole day, just building a building. So yeah, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to have any experience.
Well said, Julie. Now it's off to 009 land. And first up, a trio of Welsh layouts now, starting with Melyn Dolrid by Stuart Taylor. Representing a mill on the Welshpool and Llanfair Light Railway. Stuart's attention to detail is breathtaking, and I'm especially in awe of how he created the water. Stuart says he used a mixture of different sizes of grit, which he laid with PVA glue and polyfiller and topped with deluxe materials Aquamagic, using just enough to keep the stones exposed along the riverbed for an ultra-realistic effect. Also here is Ryleford Ranium by Daniel Nutbeam. This excellent layout depicts a mining and forestry railway in northern Wales. And last in the Welsh trio is Tanna Lynn, a gorgeous layout by Steve Flay, based on Welsh narrow gauge in the preservation era with Festiniog railway influence. The scenery, buildings and stone walls are all hand-built. And there is a mini Aberglaslyn pass section and lake where trains pass on a typical stone embankment. Swapping the tranquil scenery of Wales for something a little more, well, upbeat. Worthless Farm Festival by Dave Simpson depicts a small outdoor music festival with headline acts including Adamant and Madness. And while we can't feature the music, otherwise we might get a copyright strike, we can use this music instead. Remember, Grumpy Cameraman had that tiny little joke with Duncan earlier on.
Yeah, just let you know there is a best in show.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, how we laughed. Well, the actual winner of Best in Show was the well-deserved Somewhere in France by Peter Capon. Peter's stunning layout is divided into 3 sections, with the first board showing the front line with a trench system, the second board showing a devastated village with refugees, and a third board with aspects of the rear area, including a hospital, feeding areas and the horses, as well as the chateau where the generals did their planning. Well, that was as many layouts as we could fit in this video, but what an incredible show. Now, sometimes Grumpy Cameraman likes to get a bit creative, so this was the first ending we tried for this video.
Oh, for goodness sake, the things Grumpy makes me do.
Well, that's it from the But after muttering something about lighting and nets getting in the way, here we go with the official ending.
Well, as you can see, everybody's packing up. It's the end of the show,
But what a fabulous weekend we've had at the Bournemouth Model Railway Show. And all that remains to say is, well, we'll see you at the next one. And if you like this video, please do remember to like, share, and of course subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. If you like this video, please do like, share, and of course subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of all my future videos. I'm Dawn Quest, and this is Model Railway Quest.